May sound daunting, after all, you'll have two lists of food restrictions to manage. But even so, it is possible to navigate a gluten-free vegetarian diet. There are tips, tricks, and simple recipes to help you enjoy the process and avoid common pitfalls. These 5 essential steps can help you adjust your diet so that you savor your meals and stay healthy while going vegetarian and gluten-free. Learn each diet. It may sound simple, but if you are going gluten-free while also going vegetarian, you'll need to avoid foods that contain animal products and those that contain gluten. Learning to identify foods that fall into these categories is the first step of your diet overhaul. Gluten-free diet. Going gluten-free is more complicated than simply avoiding bread and pasta. Gluten sneaks into a wide variety of foods, and many of them may surprise you. Learn to identify the different ways that manufacturers use gluten in foods so you can target and avoid those products. For example, some canned soups and spice mixes contain gluten. Even a few ice cream brands, especially less expensive or low-fat varieties, use wheat starch as an ingredient. If you're sticking to a whole foods-based diet, you'll still need to watch for wheat, barley, and rye in places you don't expect and under names you wouldn't suspect. Gluten can hide on food labels under many different names, including bulgur, malt, farro, triticale, hydrolyzed wheat protein, seitan, vegetable protein, caramel color, natural flavors, modified food starch. Once you know which foods to avoid, you'll want to learn which foods to consume. Fresh, unpackaged fruits and vegetables are gluten-free, so try to build your diet around those. When you eat manufactured food products, stick with those that are labeled gluten-free. Vegetarian diet. Fortunately, it's usually easier to identify animal-sourced ingredients than it is to avoid gluten. If you steer your grocery cart away from the meat counter and read labels carefully, you're on the right track. Keep in mind, however, that there are different types of vegetarians. Most are ovo-lacto-vegetarians, meaning that they avoid meat, poultry, seafood, and fish but consume eggs and dairy. There are also ovo-vegetarians who avoid animal products but eat eggs. And there are lacto-vegetarians that avoid animal products but consume dairy. If you follow a vegan diet. If you've decided to follow a vegan diet, you avoid animal products in every form. Anything with dairy products or egg products would be off limits. Avoid ingredients such as albumin, beeswax and honey, whey, casein and caseinate, lactose and lactic acid, lecithin, unless it comes from soy. Prep your kitchen. It can be easy to grab an ingredient that doesn't fit into your diet when you're cooking in a rush. The best way to avoid doing this is to clear your kitchen of foods that contain ingredients you're avoiding. Pick a day to check every box, bag, and can in your cupboards and fridge. Read the ingredient list on each and set aside all products that aren't compatible with a vegetarian and gluten-free lifestyle. If you have celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity, you'll need to go even further since the slightest bit of gluten cross-contamination could make you sick. Follow these steps to clean out your kitchen. Remove all baking supplies, including all opened ingredients such as sugar and baking powder, as it is likely that they've been cross-contaminated. Buy a new toaster. Buy new gluten-free ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, salsa, and any other condiments you use frequently. Squeeze bottles are best if you still have gluten eaters in the house. Replace all potentially contaminated kitchen utensils, such as plastic spatulas and non-stick pans. Clean your oven thoroughly. To prepare for the vegetarian or vegan part of your diet, double-check your staples for animal-based ingredients and replace where necessary. Identify your favorite gluten-free grains and stock your kitchen with those. If you're going vegan or dairy-free, Try several different types of gluten-free nut milk and gluten-free soy milk to find your favorite. Focus on nutrition. To make sure you are getting the necessary calories, macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals, take some time to establish nutritional goals and use them to create tasty meals.